get rid of his belongings. And this record was one of maybe 5 or 6 that I took off his hands. And I was very appreciative. Nice guy. This album, September of My Years by Frank Sinatra, is a really good one of his. It has a great string arrangement throughout the album, and I would highly recommend giving all of these songs a listen. But September of My Years, the title track, where is that? I don't see it here, but it must not be listed here because it's here. Anyway, it's, I think, the first track, and it's beautiful. Obviously it has, it was a very good year. That's a hit. Everybody knows that song. And all of these songs are really nice. Really, really beautiful. Here it says, arranged and conducted by Gordon Jenkins. Unfamiliar, but maybe a popular conductor of his time. I'm just not familiar with that name. And then beneath that we see the track titles. Starting at the top, the album title, September of My Years, is the first track. And then Don't Wait Too Long, Last Night When We Were Young, September Song, Once Upon a Time, Hello, Young Lovers, I See It Now, When the Wind Was Green, How Old Am I? This is All I Ask. It was a very good year. It gets lonely early. And the final track, The Man in the Looking Glass. Below that, we see this was released through Reprise Records. I'm not sure what pressing this is. I don't really care about that, to be honest. You know, this was a hugely popular album, so I'm sure it was one of many pressed. Below that, we see 10, 14, and then at the top, make note, this was pressed in stereo. Flipping it over, we can see a sticker on top showing the name and address of the original owner. His name was Guido J. Bizzi, and he lived on Road 1 in Swan Lake, New York. That's close to where I picked up the record. I don't remember the man's name. I guess it was Guido, but it doesn't ring any bells. Here we see, in a nice font, repeating the artist Sonny Burke, engineered by Lowell Frank. And then on the other side, we have these words. They say, "Tonight will not swing. Tonight is for serious." Inside, the musicians, led by coatless, posture-free Gordon Jenkins, rehearse their voice-empty arrangements, waiting for his arrival. Outside, in the hall, the uniformed guards wait and wonder what to do with their hands. Unruly fiddle players who love recording like they love traffic jams. Tonight, they bring along the wives who wait to one side in black beaded sweaters. And these wives and these fiddle players and all of these are different tonight. For in a few minutes, a poet who will begin to speak of years ago. He arrives, tie loosened, collar loosened. The guards at the studio door edge out of the way. "Good morning, sir," he says. "Who's got the ball game on?" 30 orchestra wives wish they had the late scores memorized. 4 men look around for a transistor radio. "Hello, Sydney. How are you? What's happening in the music business?" He strolls up behind Gordon Jenkins, who is rehearsing his strings. Sinatra listens for 32 bars, then turns to Mike Romanoff. The way this guy writes strings, if he were Jewish, he'd be unbearable. "What do you mean by that?" The prince wakes up a bit. "You ready, Gordy?" "I'm ready," replies Jenkins. "I'm always ready. I was ready in 1939. I was ready when I was 9. He walks to his music stand, clearing his throat. Think I swallowed a shot glass. Jenkins starts a song, conducting with arms waist high, sweeping them side to side, not leading his orchestra, being the orchestra. Always Have September. That was written by Stan Cornin. That was very descriptive. I loved that. That was beautiful. Printed in the USA, as we can see. I wish somebody would write about me like that, you know what I'm saying? You get it, you get it. I'm curious, there's no year so far. I'm curious what year this was actually pressed, because I don't remember. Well, I wasn't alive back then, but anyway, if we look at the spine, you can see at the top stereo, and then as it goes down, it repeats as a spine does, the artist, the album name, and then the pressing number FS 1014. At the bottom, again, it says Reprise Records. Switching over to the record itself, a photo of Frank smiling like he's in September. Flipping it over, it's the same photo. Starting with side one, all of the info is repeated. We can see, again, reprise. We see the tracks. Oh, well, here we see who wrote these songs, the credits. I'm interested in that, so we will go through that. Starting with side one, September of My Years, Van, what is that name? Van Huysen-Kahn. Track 2, How Old Am I? Credit goes to Gordon Jenkins. Track 3, Don't Wait Too Long. Credit goes to Sonny Schuyler. Track 4, It Gets Lonely Early. Again, Van Huysen-Kahn. This Is All I Ask. Credit Gordon Jenkins. Last Night When We Were Young. Credit Ariane Harburg. Track 7, The Man in the Looking Glass. Written by Bart Howard. Below that we see it was manufactured for Bristol Productions under Warner Brothers Records. Made in the USA. Still no year though. Switching to side 2. It was a very good year. Credit goes to Irvin Drake. When the Wind Was Green. Don Hunt. Hello, Young Lovers. Rogers and Hammerstein. I See It Now. Wilder. Engvik. Once Upon a Time. Strauss. Adams. And September Song. Weil Anderson. Interesting. Back before the artist wrote their own songs. Here, the sleeve that the record came in if any stand out to me. These are sort of classics. The Kinks, You Really Got Me. Some more Sinatra. This doesn't really fit in. Some Kinks. A lot of pop goes bassy, you know, there's a lot of that era, like jazz and vocal jazz, vocal pop of that time. Dean Martin, classic. Trini Lopez. Flipping it over. Yeah, just about what you would expect. This is a good record. Everybody Loves Somebody. You know, sometimes you're like in the mood to listen to this old stuff, and especially on vinyl, they're like $1 or a few dollars. They're very cheap. So, and this one was free because I got it, like I said, at an older person's house as he was trying to get rid of his, belongings. Anyway, let me grab the record again. Oh, careful, careful. You know, there's no barcode on this. This was pre-barcode. Crazy. So, interesting. I couldn't find a year anywhere. But maybe I would just be guessing 1962. I don't know. If somebody watches this far and also happens to know, that would be the craziest comment, I think, ever. This is a great album. I highly recommend listening all the way through. It has a great sound. The strings and the arrangements are beautiful. The lyrics are cohesive there. You know, all the songs have similar feelings that they're trying to convey. So, give it a shot. You know?